Zambia is one of the 16 landlocked countries in Africa. Surrounded by 8 neighboring countries with no direct access to the sea, this geography forces Zambian trade to rely on foreign seaports and overland corridors. Zambia depends on transit routes to ports in neighboring countries for international trade. Major gateways include Dar es Salaam in Tanzania, Beira in Mozambique, Durban in South Africa, Walvis Bay in Namibia, and increasingly the Lubito port in Angola. Each of these corridors is lengthy and costly. On average, it takes about 2 weeks for goods to travel from the seaports to Lusaka. This is mainly due to the long distance and border crossing delays. The added distance translates into much higher freight bills. Zambian firms end up paying several $1,000s extra per shipment compared to the countries that have direct access to the sea. This results in things becoming more expensive here compared to our neighboring countries. Something that costs 100 kwacha in Tanzania can cost up to 200 kwacha here in Zambia. Another downside is multiple border crossings and custom delays. Landlocked trade is not just about distance, it's also about the number of borders a shipment must cross. Each border entails custom inspections, paperwork, and potential delays. A Zambian exporter sending copper to a port or an importer bringing in goods often has to clear 2 or 3 international frontiers. For example, a truck from Lusaka to Durban must pass through Zimbabwe and sometimes Botswana before reaching the South African coast. So, what are the impacts on key export sectors, mainly copper and agriculture? Zambia's major exports highlight both the challenges and adaptive strategies of a landlocked economy. Copper, in particular, is a livelihood of the Zambian economy, typically accounting for 70% or more of export earnings. Being a high-value, dense commodity, copper can somewhat better absorb transport costs than low-value goods, but is still heavily affected by logistics. Copper cathodes and concentrates are produced in the copper belt and must be transported to ports for export, often to Asia or Europe. The traditional routes have been rail or road to Durban, which is 2,000 plus kilometers, or by the Tazara Railroad to Dar es Salaam, which is about 1,800 kilometers. Inefficiencies or disruptions along these corridors directly impact export timelines and profitability. For example, if there is congestion at the Dar es Salaam port, or if the South African truckers strike in Durban, Zambian copper shipments get delayed, which can cause missed delivery contracts or require costly storage. Truck transport for copper is expensive. Industry sources cite around $150 per ton as the standard freight cost to Durban or Dar es Salaam in recent years. Despite these challenges, Zambia is finding ways to adapt. The country has branded itself as land-linked, emphasizing that its central location in Southern Africa can be an asset for regional trade.